Hey everybody, so we just came up live with this week's episode of Style and Empowerment Show with Laura and Friends Radio. Excited to be back in the studio on this beautiful sunny day in Philadelphia. So today we're taking a small left turn from our usual uh, hip hop dance format and bringing you some of my favorite jazz songs in keeping with today's guest who's going to be joining us later, playing jazz trombonist Jeff Bradshaw. So bringing you some Michael Bublé, Barbara Streisand, Nat King Cole, all the greats. And welcome to this week's edition of Style and Empowerment Chat with Laura and Friends. Thank you for tuning in all around the world on our stations. Take It to the Streets Radio, Downtown Hot Radio, WHTL Urban Radio, London Energy, FM World Pakistan, and Downtown Hot Radio. So we're getting it kicked off today with a little bit of a jazzy flow today. We're so excited to welcome back to the show in our 1 o'clock hour, acclaimed jazz trombonist Jeff Bradshaw. He has a critically acclaimed new CD out, Stronger, which we'll be talking about later on today. But let's get into some of this entertainment news. So everybody's buzzing about, I'm just shaking my head. I just don't understand this whole scenario. So it looks like Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have moved from kind of just talking to being an item. So they were spotted at a Miami gym this weekend working out together. So, of course, everybody knows Jennifer Lopez is fanatical about working out and her fitness and nutrition. And it's been reported that she said anyone who wants to have a relationship with her has to blend in with her and get on board with her healthy lifestyle. Otherwise, they're not going to work. So apparently Jennifer Lopez is one of her favorite dates is to go work out together. So one of the main activities she loved doing with her now ex Alex Rodriguez was hitting the gym. So apparently Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez were photographed kissing and canoodling in between workout sets. I often wonder when those things happen and it's, oh, accidentally spotted. How accidental was it? The paparazzi just happened to be at a gym. There's lots of gyms everywhere. And they just happened to say, I understand everybody's after their hot story, but they're still kind of trying to figure out what this is, where they want to go, what's happening with this thing. I mean, we've all been there. You have that relationship that you jump in and out of. You're thinking, yeah, do I want to go back? This, that. And do you want people taking your picture while you're out there on your dates trying to figure out what you want this to be, or if you want it to be anything and you're kind of testing the waters? But apparently Jennifer Lopez has been saying in insider circles, quote, that she's committed to getting Ben in shape for his new superhero movie. Yeah, okay. All right. I mean, look, we all know that Jennifer Lopez has a certain type. And nothing wrong with that. Some of the things she likes, I like. But at the same point, she likes her guys to be really in shape, well dressed, glammed. And, Ben Affleck, as he's gone through relationship after relationship and in and out of rehab and all the different things he's dealt with over the years, he's not the Ben that he was when he was Bennifer. So I feel this is also for her. She's thinking about her own image and she wants Ben to look more like the eye candy that he was before. But even then, when they first started dating, she glamorized him then too, because it's been a long time. But you remember back in the Goodwill Hunting Armageddon days, Ben was kind of a backwards baseball hat, jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. It was Jennifer that helped him find his style and polished his rough edges, so to speak. So it's going to be interesting. I personally wouldn't be jumping into another relationship after I just broke up with someone 3 or 4 weeks ago. You can't help but question like what people's motives are, but I hope it's for legit reasons and it's a healthy situation. So now, of course, on the other side of that coin, A-Rod just announced on his social media a couple of days ago that he was starting a new chapter in his life. He actually, of course, A-Rod has many, many entrepreneurial endeavors and investments in real estate. Him and Jennifer Lopez actually own several properties together and have many joint ventures business wise, which of course also will be interesting to see. It's always a challenge, even in good times when you're in business together, but then when you break up, and you still have vested interests. It can be complicated as each person is working past their issues that broke them up. Can you put that aside and be considerate and respectful of each other and maintain your business and protect your coin? So, Alex Rodriguez just announced that he has a new concealer line. So, of course, men do have a long history of wearing makeup in entertainment. So many reporters, TV personalities, when they're on camera, there is such a thing as men's foundation. And of course, there's men need to protect their skin just like women. And so, I think this is a good thing. So that'll be interesting. And I mean, and hats off to him to just continuing to diversify his brand and try new things. So now in pop culture TV news, so this has been a very nostalgic week for those of us who grew up and came of age in the late 90s. So some big pop culture TV shows. I just had some reunions over 20 years. Hard to believe, seems like yesterday. So the hugely successful WB TV show, which you could say, along with Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Seventh Heaven, Dawson's Creek was the show that really launched the WB network in the late 90s and early 2000s. So the entire cast of Dawson's Creek just reunited for a TV interview with Entertainment Weekly, as well as the original director and screenwriter, Kevin Williams. So I think he shared some really interesting reflections. I didn't realize that he actually did Dawson's Creek. I just knew him from the Scream movie. So when he got the call about a pilot TV show, that later would be Dawson's Creek and was semi autobiographical from William's life. He had just completed Scream, but it wasn't released yet, so Hollywood didn't know about that venture yet, which of course would catapult Kevin Williamson into the top tier of Hollywood. But Dawson's Creek, of course, launched the careers of James Vanderbeek, Michelle Williams, who won an Oscar, was nominated, I believe, for 3 Oscars and a Golden Globe, and Busy Phillips, of course, and Katie Holmes, who would later go on to marry Tom Cruise and star in several movies, and of course also Joshua Jackson, who now actually has a play that he's doing his Broadway debut. So he has a play coming up in the next couple of months on Broadway. So the cast all reassembled to reflect about the show and coming of age in Hollywood, and just the impact the show had on their lives. So the cast hadn't been together in over 20 years. So it was nice to see. So you can catch that on Entertainment Weekly TV, and there's a big feature on it in this week's issue of Entertainment Weekly. And of course, everybody is buzzing that Friends is soon to be debuting their reunion special on Hulu. So the cast has been making the press circuit on Good Morning America and many in the morning TV shows. Again, this was the first time they've all been assembled in the same spot in a very long time. So uh, they in the special they are in many of the sets from Chandler's bedroom to the cafe, like many of the famous iconic sets from the show, just reminiscing about their time together on the show and reenacting famous scenes from the show. Of course, Friends was not only such a huge pop culture influence on fashion and slang and trends, and so many celebrities who were at that time more up and coming made guest appearances on Friends, and but they're also a very important part of Hollywood history because they were the first uh, TV cast to kind of rally together in activism to demand a renegotiation of their contracts and demand higher salaries and a bigger stake in the equity of the money making machine that Friends TV show became. And they actually went on strike for a bit. And so they helped to get the salaries that many actors now in hit TV shows just kind of look at the going rate. But they were the first cast to command the salary of $1 million per episode. So it's going to be interesting. And now that we're moving forward in herd immunity and as more and more people are getting COVID vaccines next year at this time and even over the summer, it's going to be really interesting now to see are we going to have more TV show pilots? Is filming procedures, what's that going to look like? Are we going to see more movies released? Because, of course, this past year for months, the production side of Hollywood just and distribution just came to a halt as we were dealing with the pandemic. So it's exciting to see the movie theaters starting to reopen, new films being released, and so and intrigued and interested to also see how that's gonna impact TV as well. Um, so now summer's upon us. So talking about some of the summer trends. So I'm a girl who loves my nails and nail art. So some of the hottest trends for summer nails are French manicures with color tips, neon colors. That's the big trend across the board. Floating lines is a new nail trend. Also, glass nails, which I think this is interesting. Like it's an overlay that looks like clear glass and then has different cool techniques like overlaid over it so it creates the effect of a clear dome over your nail. And abstract art on the nail is also a big trend. And so, it's all about for the summer, the bright colors, neon colors, like bold, bright color. So if you're, just want to quick do a refresh on your nail and be on trend, grab a bright orange or bright green or pink. So it's definitely not the pastels for summer. It's all about the bright pigment and neon. So now, hair trends for the summer, of course, we always, as the weather gets warmer, you just want uh, light, low maintenance hairstyles. So bangs have definitely made surprisingly a big comeback for the summer season. So swoop bangs, shag bangs, blunt bangs are all the rave right now. The wavy 70s bang is also a big trend. The side swoop, and also the rounded afro is a big trend right now, and texture without product. So for the summertime, it's all about using different lotions, but not heat to get your curls. Loose curls is definitely the trend for the summer. Low maintenance. I always say the effortless glam. Like I just walked out of bed like this. So we're gonna take our first musical break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about some of this year's Hall of Fame inductees, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And we're also going to continue our celebration of Asian Heritage Month. So keep it locked into Style and Empowerment Chat. We're going to bring you another jazzy break of music, and we'll be right back after this. I can hear a heartbeat for 1,000 miles, and the heaven will find the well, I could that's just gonna happen. Yep, I'm running to you like a river flows. Taking me love, she gives me love, love, love. She's got a fine sense of humor when I'm feeling low down. And when I come to her, when the sun goes down, takes away my trouble, takes away my grief, takes away all of my heartache. In the night like a thief, she give me love, love, love. She give me love, 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 love. Crazy love. Crazy love. She gives me love, love, love. Crazy love.
Yes, I need her in the daytime. But I need her in the night. Yes, I wanna pull her arms around. Kiss her white, kiss her black. And when I'm returning from so far away, she give me some sweet loving. Yes, it makes me righteous. It makes me feel good. And it makes me mellow down to my soul. Give me love, brings me love. She gives me love, brings me love. She gives me love. I need love,
Yeah, that was in the first Sex and the City movie. It's one of
do a remake of that one?
it was one of the a few songs where you can actually understand everything Ariana Grande saying in the song.
Smile, though your heart is blue. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through. Oh, light up your face with gladness. Hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You find that life is still worthwhile if you
Go ahead and praise
just smile.
I love this voice for Christmas song. Sure.
And that was one of my favorite Nat King Cole songs, Smile, which of course was also remade by one of the phenomenal songstresses of jazz, pop, and R&B, Barbara Streisand. So I know we all are going through struggles and have had a hard year, but we all made it through. We're still here, and that's something to smile about and be grateful and present in that. So now, of course, this week here in Philadelphia, we are right in the middle of Center City Philadelphia Restaurant Week. We have so many amazing restaurants here in Philadelphia, all the different cuisines that you could hope for: soul food, Cuban, Brazilian, French, Italian, Indian, American fare. Such a great scene of amazing, chic, and stylish restaurants. So through the 28th, you can visit many of our fabulous chic restaurants here in the city, which will be offering prefixed lunch and dinner offerings in partnership with Restaurant Week, ranging from about $20 to $30 per package. But it's important that you do visit the website for Restaurant Week and check out the listed restaurants that are participating. But don't assume that they are participating in it for lunch and dinner. So when you click on each restaurant, it'll tell you the menu, the restaurant week menu, as well as if they're offering the choices for lunch and dinner. So many great restaurants to visit here in the city. I'm a foodie and I love wonderful food and artistic presentation and great decor. So Restaurant Week is always one of my favorite things to do here in the city. So, talking about food, we are continuing our celebration of Asian American and Pan Asian Heritage Month. So, this week I want to spotlight. Whoop, I want to spotlight as our camera just dropped, but that's real life. So I want to spotlight some of the influential. There are many, but I want to spotlight some of the influential Asian American chefs and celebrity chefs who have made a huge impact in America and globally. The first chef I want to spotlight is, of course, made a big presence here in Philadelphia, Chef Masaharu Morimoto, who, of course, is a Japanese chef best known for his hosting and participation in Iron Chef on the Japanese TV show Iron Chef and its sister show spin-off Iron Chef America. He's also known for his unique way of presenting food. He established himself in the 80s and early 90s in New York City and worked in many prestigious restaurants in Philadelphia, including the restaurant in the Sony building. So he cooked for many VIPs and executives and networked during that time. And, the key to success in any field is relationship building and networking. Um, so he opened up his first restaurant in partnership with Kenneth Star Restaurants. He opened up his first branch of Morimoto in Philadelphia in 2001. So Morimoto has opened over 15 locations around the world, including restaurants in Mumbai, New Delhi, New York City, Hawaii, and Tokyo. He has two locations in Hawaii, one in Oahu and the main island, Hawaii. I had the pleasure of dining at Morimoto in Oahu several years ago, and it was just beautiful, and the staff was fabulous. And at the time, former President Obama had recently just dined there about 2 weeks prior. So I had a wonderful time just chatting it up with the staff at the time, and they were talking about all the procedure and protocol that they had to go through with Secret Service and the staff prepping for the president's arrival and all the security checks. It is quite a production when a public figure and someone in government comes to a restaurant. It's not like they just walk in. Everybody has to be checked for credentials and background checks, and make sure that they're not violent or that anything's going to happen to the ambassador or president or government official or even with celebrities, that they're safe. So Morimoto, his net worth is over $18 million. So that's so empowering and such a motivational story that he went in the span of 20 years from working for others and working his way up the ladder to having his first business investment and partner believing in him to now having businesses all around the country and all around the world and amassing such a fortune. So it's really inspiring. So now another inspiring Asian chef that I want to spotlight is none other than a chef, a TV personality, restaurateur, author, and entrepreneur, Chef Ming Tsai. So Ming Tsai is known for having fused uh, East meets West gastropub cuisine together. He currently hosts Simply Ming, uh, which is a television show featured on the American Public Television Network. Is the first network to air his show was PBS. So he's been with public television in this particular TV venture for over 17 years. You know, Ming Tsai is really a testament to the importance of public broadcasting, and public broadcasting has launched many TV icons, and of course, just serves the community. And it's important that they have funding. Of course, Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street, and so many valuable TV shows that share that. To help our children and socialize and gain skills and confidence, started on public television. So he currently hosts a TV show, Simply Ming, but previously his restaurant, Blue Ginger, received 3 stars from the Boston Globe. The James Beard Foundation crowned Ming Tsai the 2002 Best Chef for the Northeast. He also had a successful TV show, East Meets West, on the TV Food Network. Ming has published several cookbooks, and he also has his own vegan food line. And yeah, it's called Ming's Bing. So it's a variety of different products that are all vegan. And he is also a president of the charity Family Reach, which provides financial resources for cancer patients. And of course, his he's done so many amazing things. But again, one of the important foundations of his career has been his affiliation with public television. Of course, Julia Child rose to fame on public television, and many of the TV chefs from who started out in the 90s. Of course, this was before reality TV shows became the norm. So these TV chefs really were innovators, groundbreakers. They were the first to reach you in your home, in your living room, in an interactive way and connect with audiences, and you could see what they were doing in live time and learn from them. And oftentimes the chefs would share parts of their life and experiences through their cooking. So truly these chefs were not only groundbreakers in the restaurant and food industry, but in the TV industry as well. So, another groundbreaking chef to talk about and spotlight is executive chef Christina Comerford, who is a Filipino American chef who has been the White House executive chef since 2005, originally discovered by Barbara Bush, and then the Obamas kept her on through their administration. So she originally got the attention of Laura and George Bush in the early 2000s when she was cooking for a state dinner at the time when Indian Prime Minister was visiting the White House under the first Bush administration. She is the first woman and the first Asian American chef to hold the position of executive chef in the White House. And of course, there's so many traditions that the executive chef is responsible for, from all the gingerbread houses at Christmas festivities in the White House, state dinners. Celebrities who come for different meetings with the president. So it is a very high pressure and prestigious position to have all these world figures come in and out of your quote place of business to cook for. And of course, you would also have to go through many security procedures ongoing because of the elite nature of where you are and what you're doing. So goes to show, the right people believing in you and working hard and refining your craft can take you to many high places in life, but nothing happens without hard work and believing in yourself, and that no dream is too big or out of reach if you just consistently apply the work and believe in yourself. So we're going to take another musical break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. So keep it locked into Style and Empowerment Chat with Laura and Friends Radio, and we'll be back after this.
Someday you'll come along, and you'll be big and strong.
One of my favorite Barbara Streisand songs, "The Man I Love," off of her Back to Broadway CD. Classic.
To make you look at me and smile. I understand, and it'll leave you take my hand, and though it seems absurd, I know we both say you will see your maybe I shall meet him someday, maybe Monday, maybe not.
Filling your day with good vibes and good music. So we'll be back up in a little bit with our featured guest, acclaimed jazz trombonist Jeff Bradshaw. So you can catch us every week on Take It to the Streets Radio, Downtown Hot Radio, London Energy Radio, FM World Pakistan, The Voice, and Downtown Hot Radio, and also distributed on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Alexa, Audible, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, all the places where you find your podcasts. And of course, you can like and follow the Style and Empowerment Chat with Laura and Friends page, and follow me on Instagram at the Laura Master for all the best in celebrity interviews, fashion, entertainment, motivation, and empowerment.